Well, good morning and welcome back to the celebration of Indonesia's Independence Day. And it's a truly special 79th Independence Day, as there are many festivities that are different this year. And as we spoke about before, how it's celebrated in two cities now, the current capital and the new capital, as well as we've talked to Dr. Agus about the importance of history and in contemplating on our freedom and as moments before our independence. And right now, Eda, I believe that we have another special guest in the studio.
Yes, Audrey. It will be a very interesting talk. As you mentioned earlier, we're talking about history of Independence Day in Indonesia with Dr. Agus from the 1 hour earlier. And from 1 hour ahead, we'll be talking about the air aviation performance with Pak Capi Hakim as the Air Force Chief of 2002 until 2005 Aviation Observer. Pak Capi, how are you today?
I'm fine. Good morning, Pak Capi. Yes.
Look great with your
Chief
jacket
of
on.
Air Force.
Yes.
Yes.
Long time ago. I got 20 years already retired.
Wow.
Yeah. But hopefully retired, not expired.
Oh, yes. Never. Never, Pak.
Never expired.
Yes.
Thank you for your service, Pak.
Thank you, Pak.
Okay, thanks a lot for the invitation to TVRI.
Of course. Is this your first time here? In the studio?
I forget.
Okay.
I'm sure he's
I
done
got
too many of these.
dementia.
You got too many
He's
options
done
of-
too many of these interviews. So.
Several times.
Wow, Pak Capi, it's
Yes.
quite an exciting 79th Independence Day. How are you feeling, first of all, on this year's independence?
Okay, it's very interesting. If we're talking about air and space, we're talking about air sovereignty, we're talking about in Indonesia they said kedirgantaraan. Yeah. Compare or refer to our Independence Day, I always concerned about how not many people of Indonesia are concerned about the airspace.
Okay.
Yeah. The things that I would like to say here, until now, we not yet claim in our constitution that airspace above our territory is our air sovereignty. We not yet claim that.
Up until now?
Yeah, the first thing. Okay. Several years ago, some of the professor, doctor, scientists, academician, they would like to appeal to the government how if we can take in our constitution, claim that our sovereignty, our national sovereignty is included in our airspace above our territory.
Okay.
We remember that we have 4 times amendment of our constitution, but it's never received by the committee. So that until now we only have the constitution Bumi Air, Bumi Air, Udara not yet.
Not yet.
Until now. That's the first things that I'm concerned about, how we have to take a look how important the air and space above our territory. If we're talking about how important the airspace of our national territory, we have to look a lot of learn from the history.
Yes.
In 1941, yeah, United States of America have the surprise attack in the Pearl Harbor by the Japanese.
Pearl Harbor.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Pearl Harbor event.
The surprise attack. Surprise attack from the Japanese to Pearl Harbor. In a book of The Future of War by the Meredith Friedman, it said this is the origin of American military. This is the American military failure. And they make the surprise attack in Pearl Harbor is impossible, but it's happened.
Oh, okay.
Why? Because at that time we don't have ability to produce the aircraft can flow from the Japan to Hawaii. Yeah, the technology,
It wasn't there yet.
yes,
possibly,
yeah. Not developed yet. Yes. And the second things, United States of America and Japan, they still have the formal relationship in diplomatic. They have the ambassador, the Japan ambassador in Washington, and was a United States ambassador in Tokyo.
Oh, at that time they were mutual friends. Yeah.
In the simple things, there's no declaration of war, but the surprise attack happened. Yeah. And after 1941, the American military thinkers start thinking about three things.
Three things.
Three things. It's the first is air defense identification zone, ADIS, beyond territory, beyond their air territory,
Yes.
ADIS. And the second is the thing about early warning system. And the third thing is they're just thinking about how to make the identification friend or foe.
Okay.
Because at the time, actually, the radar operator have identified the aircraft flown going close to the Pearl Harbor. But the Lieutenant Colonel, the officer in charge said, "Oh no, bro, no, don't worry."
Okay.
That's the Monday morning, 7 October or 7 September
Okay.
in 1941.
Monday morning, yes.
It's Monday. It's Monday. So, very. Don't worry. Because why Lieutenant Colonel said don't worry? Because at that time, United States of America, United States Defense Force, make the rally have a lot of ferry aircraft from United States to Pearl Harbor. So they think that they friend that the aircraft, the airplanes come from their own country, but surprisingly not. And surprisingly, the aircraft were flown by the aircraft carrier from the Japanese Navy, and it's already standstill close to the Pearl Harbor that they make surprise attack, 1941. And 60 years after 1941, 2001, you know that 9/11 or 9/11
Yes.
Yeah.
Happened.
If the Pearl Harbor, they know the enemy come from outside, surprise attack from outside, from Japan.
From Japan.
But in 9/11, the enemy come from inside of the United States of America. Kamikaze pilot who hit the Twin Tower, have the training school, have the pilot school in United States.
Oh.
Yeah. How dramatic 9/11? Because they got the surprise attack from inside the country. Yeah. United States of America concerned first priority with international aviation safety.
Yes.
But by the full of concern, focus international aviation safety, and the national aviation security left behind.
Okay.
So that's 9/11 happened. And what happened after that? After review the surprise attack in 9/11, the government of America make the three steps. The first things
3 steps. Okay.
they think about, so how important to make national security in the high level condition. So they developed the Department of Homeland Security.
Department of Homeland
They
Security.
develop also Transportation Security Administration.
Okay.
And the last one, they're restructuring the national air traffic control to become the civil military air traffic flow management system. The 3 steps after 9/11. So if we have to learn a lot about how important our airspace. Yep. In 1941, after surprise attack from Japan, they very easily to revenge. In 1945, make a bomb in Hiroshima, Nagasaki. They attacked Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and finish. And the World War finished. Second World War finished. But 60 years after that, 9/11, they don't know who the enemy,
Yeah.
how to make revenge. Yeah,
Yeah.
they need
Yeah.
10 years to kill the
The conspirator.
who's the leader of the terrorists?
Yeah.
Osama bin Laden.
Osama bin Laden.
10 years.
10 years.
They need 10 years to kill Osama bin Laden. And they need another 10 years, yeah, to go to Syria, Afghanistan. And after 20 years, after 9/11, after 2001, they have to going back from Afghanistan.
Afghanistan, yeah.
So there's a joke
Yeah.
that's from Taliban back to Taliban
Back to
after
Taliban.
30 years. This reflection of how the United States America cannot survive, yeah, as good as 1941, as good as the first surprise attack in Pearl Harbor.
Harbor, yes.
Yeah. They lost a lot of defense budget after 9/11. Yeah. After 9/11, again, I would like to say, he developed Department of Homeland Security, they developed the Transportation Security Administration, and the restructuring of air traffic flow management system to combine to integrate civil military air traffic control to have the international aviation security at the very highest level.
Okay.
911 proof evident that international aviation security
Yes.
is more than international aviation safety.
Safety. Yeah. So
That's some of lesson learned. We have to take a look how important our air sovereignty.
And thank you so much, Pak Cepi, for sharing, because
Thank you.
lots of our audience and us
Yeah.
probably not be aware of
Yeah.
the importance
Yeah.
of this priority. And we are interested to learn more, especially how this applies to Indonesia in the bigger picture. And Pak Cepi, after learning those important historical facts, what do you think Indonesia can apply, especially in this year of 79th Independence Day, in order to further strengthen our international aviation security, as you have been, chief officer of aviation in 2000 and to 2005? What do you think we can continue to improve right now?
Yeah. So after we have taken a look at the history, how
Yes.
important the airspace of national sovereignty, and now we take a look in Indonesia. We talk about independence. Yeah. Indonesia, I can say Indonesia, quote unquote, not independence yet.
Not independence, yet, quote unquote.
Huh.
Yes, quote unquote, not
Yes.
independent, because that's I have to. I already said we not yet claim yet the airspace above our territory as our air sovereignty.
Yes.
If you're talking about air sovereignty always refer to Chicago Convention 1944.
1944.
Chicago Convention 1944 said that air sovereignty is complete and exclusive. Yeah. Chicago Convention 1944 is underlining what the result of Paris Convention 1919. They're
1990.
talking about that. They're talking about how critical airspace above the nation.
Yes.
Yeah. So they said air sovereignty complete and exclusive. In a book of Professor Pablo, yeah, Introduction to Air Law, he said, what background of result of 1919 Paris Convention and Chicago Convention 1944, the background is the military background, national security background. Why? 1919 Paris Convention, it's the reflection of how the country facing the First World War,
The First
1914 until 1918. And 1994 Chicago Convention is reflecting by the Second World War, 1939 until 1945. The two World War make all the country feel not safe if their air sovereignty can use by other nation.
Okay.
That's a very, very basic principle with this understanding how important is our sovereignty.
Yes.
And now, in Indonesia, we have three critical points. The first thing we not have yet claimed in our constitution that air and space above our territory is our sovereignty.
Yeah.
The second thing, if we're talking about UNCLOS, UNCLOS, United Nations Convention in the Law of the Sea, 1982, if I'm not mistaken. We are universally recognized as archipelagic state,
Yeah.
Yes.
but there's compensation about that. We have to give the sea lane passage. Okay, you archipelagic state, but you have to give the sea lane passage. That's why we manage the ALKI, Alur Laut Kepulauan Indonesia.
Okay.
ALKI, the first ALKI, the second ALKI, and the third ALKI.
Yeah.
It's to compensate to universally recognize our country as archipelagic state. Okay, we archipelagic state, universally recognized, but we have to give the sea lane passage.
Sea lane passage.
Unfortunately, sea lane passage, in the development, the fast development of technology, the ship who passing the sea lane passage, they can bring the aircraft.
They can bring the aircraft.
So that the things, they have to free to flying
To fly.
the airspace above the ALKI, above the sea lane passage. But the international air law is said the complete and exclusive. There's no airspace you can flow without permission. That means that the airspace is air sovereignty is complete and exclusive. Why? Against military background, again national security background, again 1919 Paris Convention, Chicago Convention. So that's very critical.
Yeah.
And now, in the global community, they identified airways above ALKI. This until now is still dispute between the International Maritime Organization and International Civil Aviation Organization, International Air Law and International Sea Law or Sea Convention or whatever.
Yeah.
Until now, that's still in dispute. That's critical with us to Indonesia because the airspace above the ALKI is many nations feel they free to use it. And some of the nation is not ratified the UNCLOS 1982. That's the second critical.
Yes.
The third things, there is airspace in a very critical position in Indonesia, in Malacca Strait. Environment of Malacca Strait.
Yeah.
We delegate the manage to manage the airspace to other nation authority.
Okay.
Yeah, we delegate. That's why I think. That's why I said we are not independent yet.
Yeah.
In the whole of understanding of independence, national independence, because okay, we are in the water, in the land, but in the airspace we have three things: the constitution, the airways above the sea lane passage, and the airspace in the Malacca Strait that we delegate to other nations.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing that, Pak Capi. We will continue about the airspace territory because that is a fun subject to discuss
very
too,
fascinating.
Audrey. Yeah, very fascinating. Up until now, we haven't claimed our own airspace territory. How could Indonesia? So
Air and space is very important. Air and space is the future of human life.
Oh,
Yes.
that's what we definitely want to get into.
Yes.
Yes, right after this. And now back to our conversation, Eda. Before this, we
Yes, Audrey.
are given lots of historical insights from Pak Cepi. And one of the statements that really intrigued me is what you said, that air and space is actually the future of the human potential of Indonesia. Can you tell us more, elaborate more what you mean by that statement?
Okay. I would like to say something that is relevant to our Independence Day.
Okay.
We are not fully independent yet.
Yes.
Especially in the air.
In the air,
Especially in the air. If you remember that there's agreement between Indonesia and Singapore in 2022 that we delegate the authority of the command and control of the airspace above our critical border in Malacca Strait. It's I don't understand why, but we delegate from zero level until 37,000 feet. The authority we delegate to Singapore Aviation Authority.
Yes.
So, in the critical border, we delegate our sovereignty, and again, in Constitution, we are not claimed yet, and the airways above the Chilean Passage still in dispute.
Yes.
That's why I can say, underlining again, we are not fully independent yet. This is our challenge, how to make it.
Our chances.
Many people said, no, that's not our sovereignty that we delegate the critical border above this Malacca Strait. There are people who don't understand what kind of sovereignty means, what the sovereignty means. Sovereignty in the air, it means three things: control of the air, use of airspace, and law enforcement. Yeah. Immediately after we delegate the authority to manage the airspace in our critical border, in our own territory, we lost our authority to do. Use airspace, control of the air, and law enforcement. That's why many international flights without permission, they can easily going in our territory. Again, I would like to say, sorry to say, that we are not fully independent yet, especially in airspace, in air and space, in the air.
In the air.
Yeah. Not yet.
Not yet.
Hopefully.
Not yet.
Yeah,
Not yet.
maybe soon.
Maybe in the time to come.
Maybe the time to come.
It's
So
our challenge to how to do that, how to overcome the challenge.
Yes, it is our challenge. So thank you so much, Pak Cepi, for all the knowledge and also the stories that you have shared from the Pearl Harbor era, 41, up until now, 2024.
Yeah.
Now, it's time for the closing statement, Pak Cepi. Anything you want to say on behalf of Air Force of Indonesia to the
Okay.
viewers about the Independence Day? Go
okay.
ahead, Pak Cepi.
The thing that I concern about is how the young generation start to look at how important our airspace, how important our territory,
Yes.
land, water, and air and space. And now, we're facing the new era. We're facing the cyber world. Cyber world now becoming the fifth domain after land, water, air, and space. And the cyber world are the three important thing of the cyber world is autonomous system, using of drone, and artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
So we don't have yet to understand how important the airspace, but the new era coming, the cyber worlds. That's our challenge. That's
Yes.
our challenge. That's our young generation have to have concern about air and space. I would like to share all of the people of Indonesia how to make the young generation have the air-mindedness.
Air-mindedness.
And now air-mindedness is passed away. Yeah. Air and space-mindedness. But air and space-mindedness facing the new era,
Yes,
cyber
cyber.
world. That's our challenge. So all young generation, please look at that, because that's our, it's our independence in the full independence perception.
Yeah.
Yes, so I like how you said in the full independent perception.
Not-
So it's
not-
very,
Not
yes.
fully yet.
Not fully yet.
but hopefully we'll soon.
We'll
hopefully
soon.
we'll soon. Yes, and
That's
it's
our
a-
challenge. That's our challenge.
that's our
we
challenge.
have to overcome the challenge.
Yes, and we will in spirit of unity and of
Yeah.
our independence.
There's no other choice. If we want our nation standing in the same level with other nations, we have to overcome that challenge.
Yes.
Independence Day, Merdeka.
Merdeka.
Merdeka,
Indeed.
Pak Capi.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Pak Capi. It's also a call for us to come
Most welcome.
together during this time of independence. We truly appreciate your wonderful insights once again,
Thank
Pak
you very much.
Capi Hakim, Air Force Chief from 2002 2005, as well as an aviation observer. We are truly grateful to have you here on this wonderful Independence Day. Thank you, Pak.
Thank you, Pak.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your service. That will be it, Audrey. Our party of Republic of Indonesia Independence, the Chronicles this morning. Please stay tuned on TVRI World for more updates. We will be viewing you live, all the parties and ceremonies here in Indonesia, all across Indonesia, up until midnight. So stay tuned.
Yes, it's quite an exciting and long day, so stay put on your seats, because right after this, we have another slew of reports as well as great news to deliver to you. And for now, we can also say Merdeka,
Merdeka.
from all of us. Merdeka,
Yes,
let's
Merdeka.
continue the spirit until later on today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Audrey Utoyo.
And I'm Narendra Pawaka. We'll see you on the next episode of Independence Day. Bye.